Okay, so week 5, Evergreen Coaching. I'm going to take you guys through a review of everything you should have done up to this point for your groups, okay? So Bo's created some worksheets. We're going off. Everybody has access to this because this is streaming into Evergreen Group. We also have impact makers here. We're going off of the original Evergreen course. And then in Evergreen X, we're updating and bringing some new tactics, but also automation. So we're going to want to hit first the key components, make sure you guys know where the key resources are, and then how the new videos that we've been doing and the new content we've been sharing adds on to that, doesn't replace it. So first things first, if you guys did not ever access it and you're like, where are you getting these steps from? In basic Evergreen, we had a Trello board. Okay, and I talked to Bo, like, should we keep the Trello board? I don't know, not everybody does Trello anymore. I don't want to make the Trello boards. So I still like the old accountability Trello board, but all it did was take you through the things that you should have done to set up your group. It's kind of check boxes. So initially, when we first started, we talked about understanding the purpose of your group, having a name for your group, a cover photo, a description for your group, and one really, really, really important thing, membership questions. We talked about group setup and then deciding what's actually going to happen on the inside. So what's the purpose when people drop into the group? What do we really want them to do? And we looked at a couple options. The main one that most people landed on was using your group as a home for your events, or your parties, or your challenges, or your lives, even if it's a weekly live, with the focus being drive traffic to the live. That's where most people landed, okay? We're going to take a minute to talk right now about a couple other methods, and I want you guys to have decided for sure, what are you tracking in your group, okay? So if it is parties or events, then what we're tracking is new group members into the group and how many show up on the live. Okay, now that's probably a weekly party is what most of us decide. And where the new people come from can come from you. They can come from your hostess. They can come from group members just referring. I'm not even addressing that part. I'm saying, what are we tracking? New group growth, group exposure, group conversion through live events. That's one way. And that would just, let's call it the party system. Let's just go with Evergreen party, good old Evergreen, okay? Another way, and we talked a bit about it, I don't think anybody decided to do this on their own. We talked about the ATM method, okay? Now the ATM method in itself can stand alone completely, and it means add, tag, message. Add, tag, message is actually a method that you should be doing with every single group member. So I want you to understand when we say ATM, you should be adding group members, tagging them in the welcome post. And last week, we also talked about tagging them in a testimonial, tagging them in something of value when they're new, right? And then messaging them. You could be messaging them to say, hey, Sue, I just got you in the group. Let me know that you got there. But the bigger part about messaging them is messaging them to be like, hey, you ready to go, okay? When we're doing it through parties, we're messaging them to get them in the group pre-party, messaging them to remind them about the party, and messaging them after to close them. That means this happens all like in a week, right? Exposure to close is a quick process. If you guys are doing an actual ATM standalone group, not a party group, and if you don't know what it looks like, go look at one so you understand it. Modere does it, Bravenly does it. I don't know for sure. And Amare does it. I don't know for sure any other companies that kind of use that as their main corporate method. But when it's an ATM group, I reminded you guys that this is not something one person does on their own, okay? You could be the one to start it, right? But it's typically a collaboration of a lot of representatives. And I want you guys to think about this because you could spin this. Charlene and I were talking about different ways to collab. You could have an ATM group with sidelines that have nothing to do with your downline because maybe you don't have a downline or maybe they're not at a certain level, but it's a group collaboration of people within the same company that come in and contribute lots of testimonials, information. It is really good to organize the ATM group, but it's made more to add people to the group expose them to the information more through like tagging them and testimonials than a live event. It's not so much about a conversion party event, right? So a lot of the times those are just active all the time with testimonials. Then it's the rep's job in the background to make sure she has a systematic process to move people through so that they convert. Otherwise, it's not like it was a party and it's like, hey, Sue, don't forget to be live 7. Hey, Leslie, what did you think? It's over. Deal closes Wednesday. So if you either leverage an ATM group from your company or you create one and you don't want to do parties, but it's lots of testimonials and collaboration of, shared content. The biggest key here is to have a system that moves people through. And I recommended, because our company doesn't necessarily have a system, I recommended invite the people to the group, your 10 new exposures, right? Say you're doing 2 a day. Invite them to the group, add them, and tag them in what? Welcome post, testimonial, piece of value. I recommended that you get information in front of them based on why they said they were interested in joining. They want to get healthy. They want to learn about the business, whatever it is. Within 48 hours max, so we ask, 48 hours max, we check in if we haven't heard back, right? Hey, Cynthia, I added you to the group a couple of days ago. I tagged you in a couple of products I think might help you achieve your goal of blank. What did you think? You ready to get going? Or just check in and say, did you get my last message? Did you see the tags, right? Then take it back. No more than 48 hours later, if they still have not responded, they haven't converted. Hey, Cynthia, a couple of days ago, I added you to the group, tagged you in some posts. Not sure if you're still wanting to get healthy. I still don't want to be the harassing rep, but I wanted to help you get started if you're ready to go. So creating the urgency behind ATM is probably the biggest challenge versus a party. It's like, hey, I just did a party. The deal ends Friday. So it's similar concept. Dumping people into a group, having a systematic flow based on why they came in, and then an urgency, okay? So is there anybody who has decided, I'm not doing parties because I really don't care. I just need you to have a system to get them in and out. That has decided I haven't done parties. I don't want to do parties, but I don't really know what I want to do. And we need to talk more about other methods to grow and to move people through. Do you guys understand? The ATM method is going to become more popular over time. Okay. Parties have always been popular, Facebook groups, but having a method to move people through. But do you guys understand the difference between like a straight party group and an ATM only party group? Because a lot of us have a blend. But does anybody have questions on those two differences, ATM method versus party method? Okay, so type in the comments, what did you guys land on? Are we all still on party? Even if it's not called party, you can call it challenge, event, social, whatever your word is. Are you guys working on conversion events within your group as your main focus of why you're doing the group? Tell me that. If not, tell me what you're doing as your main way of converting people within the group. Rosalind's party. And Rosalind, the party system works really well for you, right? You've got a process, it's good. Cool. Classes for Bo. Classes, are they extended or one night? One night. Cool. So it's a party, but you call it a class. And is that for Jordan Essentials or something else? Jordan Essentials, okay. Demo parties. So Erica Watkins is probably a one-night event as well for Pure Romance. Is that correct? Cool. Okay, who else still doesn't know?
I guess it would be me. And the reason I say that is because I've never had a hostess that ever did what they were supposed to. So I've really never had a party.
Well, let's talk about that.
Except when I was my own hostess.
Yes, correct. Okay. So with Sue, she's not having other people host for her, but you're still doing an event type structure where you're bringing the people, right?
It would be nice if I was bringing the people, but I'm still where I was, where I have no hostesses that will help me. Nobody will do a party for me. And when I am my own hostess, pretty much people just watch on the replay and nothing more happens.
Okay. Are you doing it in which group are you doing them in?
In my own personal group.
Okay. So let's go through the structure of pretend you're brand new or you're 2 years down the road trying to revive like CPR, right? Who watched The Deepest Breath? The Deepest Breath. Is that what it was called? On Netflix, this documentary of the divers who free dive down, 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 down. Did you guys watch this at all? Okay.
No.
So this is like Sue. She's like, some people can just go down, they come back alive. Sue's like, I'm trying to revive this thing. On The Deepest Breath, it was fascinating. A lot of these divers, right toward the end, they like start like losing and they have to be brought back to life. So whether you're bringing your group back to life or whether it's just thriving and growing, okay, let's talk about the basics for launching your group, because part of what we can do in Evergreen is talk about different ways outside of just a party to grow and launch your group. The basic method that most people are doing is parties or events. And Sue, you might say, I really want to, it's just not converting. Okay, and there could be different reasons why. Obviously, and this is just so that we all don't feel personal about it. Obviously, the system works, right? So we go, well, why isn't it working for me? Why can this other girl get bookings? I can't. Like, what are they doing differently? But truthfully, some people just don't like parties, right? And so some people, like my past upline, she still will not ever say she does parties, but she's doing a Facebook group, bringing in new people. And we've talked about this too before, showing up live, getting in front of the people consistently with energy and excitement. So we're going to talk about different ways, and let's talk about how to launch. So in general, we talked about this a little bit last week. If you're launching your group, we talked about you guys being your own hostess. And Sarah Brown kind of shared, like, I've done that a few times. And she was also trying to find a way to get some energy from being her own hostess and get some bodies there so she can flip it off of some of the people there. And we ended up with her at the very end. If you guys remember from last week, she ended up getting excited, not about a product party. That took her a long minute. We were brainstorming different ideas. And right toward the end, we started talking about a recruiting event. Do you guys remember this? And she got excited about having like a business event inside of her group. And that's where she decided to launch a party around recruiting. So when you guys are launching, the first thing you have to decide is choose how you're going to kick off your group, or choose what event you're going to host is what most of us do, the theme of your party. And what I want you guys to think about, and Sue, it could be to you in particular, or anybody who wants to speak to this. Remove everything. Don't worry about if people are going to come or people are not going to come. Okay. What I really want you to think about is, how do you think you are supposed to be showing up for your audience? Like, no problem, Joyce. What gets you like super excited to get online and talk about, whether they come or not? What is your spin on it that might be a little different, so that when you guys decide to launch, Sue might do Arbonne differently than Cathy Andrews, right? But they're both the same company. So Sue, for you, what really gets you excited to the point that you're like, sorry, you guys didn't come. I had a blast. You totally missed out. Not just like checked the box and did another party. No more people. Is it weight loss? Is it skincare? Is it a certain demographic? What is it?
It's all of that. I don't mind doing a party, and I don't mind. I can talk about a product. I can talk about being a certified B Corp. I can talk about when I used to be a hairstylist versus what goes on now. And I can talk about anything. I just can't get anybody to show up or host.
Okay.
So I continually talk about anything, and have been. And then I get frustrated and then I don't do it.
Yep. So you guys might already know where I'm going with this, but I'm totally fine if you can get excited about all of them, or you're gonna have to pick one. So if you really truly are like, I am completely neutral, I'm equally excited about all the things. Okay. With Arbonne, I would probably go nutrition because it's the biggest for residual. It's the highest converting as far as people from skincare to makeup, etc. But you being a hairstylist, you having a background differently than me. You might be like Sarah, who said, I'm with the same company, but I'm super passionate about makeup. I'm like, dude, then do makeup. You don't have to do nutrition just because it's the big like gateway drug, right? So for you, if you really are that neutral, go nutrition. Okay. You've already got a bit of a weight loss story you've been talking about, so you've got a testimonial. So each of you are going to have to do this marketing campaign thing, I call it, just to be fancy. And we have a lot of planning documents around this. If it's a basic party, you only have to create it one time. 5 party pillars, how you're going to invite, right? What's a catchy invitation? What's a catchy social post? What are some posts you're going to do in the group? What are you going to talk about on the live? It's the basic party structure. But the challenge is it's very hard to give people a reason to join your group if it's just an Arbonne event and we're going to talk about everything. And you know this because you've been here. When we narrow in, niche down, whatever word you want to call it, the marketing becomes so much more clear. The attraction method is very obvious. You've talked with me about it. Sue, who looks like she's 40, who's 60, we've talked about that could be an angle that you take, right? You know, there's so many angles. So you guys really have to decide what is going to be. Now, if it's just a business launch and it's like, hey, it's my party and you're marketing to warm market, doesn't really matter. You're like, hey, friend, sister, daughter, will you just get on live with me? I'm going to share what I'm doing. But when it comes to cold market, which you're all going to get outside of your warm market, right? And be there, like, how do I convert cold traffic? Cold traffic, meaning people you don't know that well, meaning the new audience that you have to go find, or meaning maybe you don't ever even want to work within your warm market for whatever reason. Go back to Julia Birch, families like anti-MLM. She's not going to start with them. She goes over to Instagram, builds completely on cold traffic. Okay, it can be done. People prove it left and right all the time. If that is going to be your story, so Sue's like, I'm out of people, I have to relaunch, or you guys are like, I'm not out of people, but I might as well take more people, or I don't want to have to go to my sister, mom, daughter, friend. The more clear the message can be to a very specific person, your avatar, that this group is for her. Remember when we talked about what's the purpose of this group? Who's your avatar? Who's it for? What are we going to do inside? Why do I need to be there? The more obvious it is that this is a social sales school for the female entrepreneur network marketer, right? Brand newbie existing. The more likely they are to join, the more likely they are to get the information, the more likely they are to convert. So Sue, I challenge you, and I shared last week, it is a disservice, I think, sometimes when we can sell 1,000 products. It really is, because we think we have to sell 1,000 products. Narrow in on one system or one product, I don't even care. Flagship product, gateway drug product, Fizz, or 30 Days to Healthy Living, the whole thing, or now you guys have those smaller things, don't carry either one. Then start thinking of your who. And your WHO, you guys know this from training with me, this does not say who can you sell to. So I want everybody to answer, who do you love to serve? That's how Julie asks me, who do you love to serve? Not who can you help, not who can use your products, not who would benefit, not who needs more money, not who needs to get healthy. Who do you love to serve? Because as Cynthia says, I have a goal to convert one single mom and one this, and she looks at that and goes, I do not love to serve single moms. I don't think that should be the person she's going after. Do you understand what I'm saying? I do not love to serve men. I don't even love to serve millennials. And I don't love to serve seniors who don't know how to access the internet, at least. Do you know what I'm saying? So then I kind of feel guilty. I'm like, oh, but I'm not saving the world. Kind of why we feel overwhelmed and like we're never doing enough. We can't save the world. We can do our small little part. So who do you love to serve? Who do you love to serve? And then we start looking for that person and we start creating this event and this home and this group and this community. Erica Watkins, I have not been all the way on the inside of your group, but you alluded to it last week. Is she still here? That there is a private community she's building that not everybody's going to want to be there. Because of the type of conversations they have, some people will not want to be there. The people who want to be there are going to thrive and buy and share and join and tell. Do you know what I'm saying? The ones who are like, this is not my cup of tea, don't care. So she says, I don't like serving my current target market. It's very freeing for her to literally figure out who it is. So imagine like the gray haired ladies over on Instagram, or the white haired ladies, like they have a whole thing because they all have white hair. I don't know. The red hat ladies, they all have their thing. Find your thing. So Sue, I think people who have narrowed it down and gotten results have done one of two things. One, they have mad influence. I'm just being honest. They have mad influence coming in. That means they have an audience already. They have a following already. So they basically can say, yeah, buy the catalog, and the people buy the catalog. Or two, they're building an audience and they're learning in order to do it. I've got to have a clear message for the right person, right? And they stay consistent with that message. Whether it's they're constantly talking about the business, they're constantly talking about losing weight, they're constantly talking about getting healthy, they're constantly talking about, whatever it is for network marketers. You don't want to shift the message over and over and over until you have proof of concept. You've gained a following because they've trusted you. You've taken them through health and wellness journey. You've got these people now test out, talking about skincare, talking to 20-year-olds, talking to 40-year-olds, talking to 60. So Sue, everybody who's still in this, if you're doing party after party after party off a just based system and it's working, let's not change anything. Just keep getting bookings, keep sharing the products, keep them. But if you're struggling to really get the ball rolling, you've got to figure out who it is that you love to serve, how you serve them. And if you do like doing events, you may not. Quite honestly, I don't really love doing parties anymore. I love doing challenge like with Ignite. Love doing those 5-day events. I love when my team brings me people to talk to. I'm just being truthful. I feel like I'm partied out after year after year after year after year, but I'm like, I have to do something. You have to do something to be bringing new people in, exposing, converting. Okay. So Facebook groups, I don't know that I always call them a party, but I'm excited about Facebook groups. So then the trick becomes, how do I get them in the group? What do I expose them to? How do I get them to come out? Okay. So because inside of the group, this is where we're starting to build community, starting to chat with each other, get to know each other, share more information, whether it be through a party or through an ATM method, right? Or through a Monday Be Social Live or through a 5-day challenge. So Sue, really like pretend there was no limits. What do you really, really, really want to do? How do you really want to do it? Do you like the party method? Are you like, I'd rather sample people and then just have them watch a video in the messenger? I don't care. What do you really want to do?
I really like talking to people one-on-one.
And you have said that before.
Yeah, but it doesn't pay well, but that's what I like, because I feel like they get the best of me, I get the best of them. We go through it all, and then they know what to do from there on in. And it's not about building trust anymore, because the trust is already there from the conversation we had. I really would like to attract people who want to do a business. I really would like to attract, I guess, if I'm going to do my avatar, then senior citizens who are looking to make more money.
Okay, you might want to narrow that in, because my dad is a senior citizen who wants more money, and you do not want him on your team.
Okay, or just people, I really feel like my passion is helping people look and feel better. But in order for me to help people look and feel better, I also have to look and feel better. So that's why I'm comfortable talking about what product I'm using and the weight loss and different things that I do. But I don't really have too many people ask me questions. But just today, I dropped off samples to somebody who was a skin person, and she's texted me through this whole meeting about how do I sign up? What do I do to get the nutrition? And she hasn't even tried it yet. So I really do feel like I can I have the verbiage, I have the voice of authority, I have all the things, I just don't have the people.
Yeah. So you might just be building one-on-one, and you're right, it might go more slowly, right? So Facebook groups or communities, we're building containers here in Evergreen. We're trying to get more exposure. They call it one to many, speaking one at a time to many people, as opposed to one-on-one, for the purpose of less work, higher conversion. Same why we automate. But once again, guys, and I'm going to go into Evergreen automation next. So Sue, you may decide you do not need this part. Okay. Once again, if I'm here, because we've transitioned from impact only to Evergreen groups, if I'm here saying, I'm going to teach you how to do this through Facebook group method, I'm going to teach you whether you're doing it as a party or as a weekly live or as a challenge. And Sue's like, I just want to talk to them one-on-one. You don't need a Facebook group. Why do you need a Facebook group if you can sit with me one-on-one, close, and that's your rinse and repeat? It will move more slowly, but people did it all the time. Look at pre-social, pre-texting, because you and I were both doing business, pre-social, pre-texting, pre-Facebook, right?
Right.
And I was sitting down at coffee appointments one-on-one, right?
I mean,
But then
I
they
would
took it
prefer to have a group that's active, that gets me in front of 40 people a month, that I don't have to go one-on-one, but that's just
Okay.
not the way it's going.
Okay, so then stay here and let's see if we can help you with that. Because if you, so we're going to do a couple things. Let's look, I'm going to screen share. I'm going to show you guys some group optimization with some automation pieces that can help your group fill on autopilot. But we've got to know, like you must know, and if you need to refine your group, it's okay, but you must know, who is this group for? What do I want to do with them when they get on the inside? Okay, we've got to know that flow. Otherwise, we can just fill a group and it's like vanity metrics that it doesn't matter. In the meantime, so imagine this, passive marketing versus active, prospecting versus marketing. In the meantime, we might go, okay, I know it can work. It's going to take some time. What else can I do? I'm going to fill my calendar with 2 one-on-ones a week to supplement, to build my paycheck, to get more exposure, and keep consistently also doing this, because we don't want to get so frustrated with a method that's taking longer for us to get results than someone else might be, right? Because we're all with companies where we see some girls in 5 months at the top of the company, and some girls 5 years later haven't even ever made $100 a month. Same company, same system, different people, different process, different personality, possibly different consistency and different passion, right? So if you guys are in that boat and you need something that's consistently converting, and it needs to be one-on-ones, it needs to be sampling campaigns, or it needs to be your full-time job, whatever you need to do so that you can focus here on this part that we're building to do that. So even for you, Sue, if it's just that it feels good to close somebody. And right now you're good at one-on-one closing while you're building the group method, cool, getting results. Then we can work with the ones that we have and say, oh, by the way, I have a group. And tell your people in the group, see if they want to transition. So let's look at group backside, okay? And let's see if there's anything you guys don't have, because if you have all of this, then you can start moving your group toward an autopilot type approach, okay? So the first thing that you guys need to do is you need to have the group. So let's go with my social CRM group. Let's go with that because it's one of the smaller groups that we have. Actually, that's not a conversion group, so that's going to be a bad example. That's for customers. We'll go with 5 keys. Let's go with 5 keys. This is one of the smaller groups we have too. Okay, so this group here is a conversion group. So that means that when people come into this group, our goal is to expose them to what we have to sell and for them to pop out on the other side having purchased. That's our goal, right? Now, it is totally fine with us if they want to stay in this group, right? They haven't converted yet. But what we want to make sure is we have a process to find out where they're at in the flow. So let's evaluate all the pieces, and then we're going to look at the automation. If the automation is completely optimized, which I will tell you in this one, it's not, because this is a shared group that we decided to do a little bit different with automation, shared group. If it is completely automated, you guys can actually start finding leads on autopilot. I'm going to show you how to do that. So what you need to make sure is that you are comfortable and confident in the goal of your group, the title of your group, cover photo of your group, the description of your group. And if you have any cracks there, let me know. And then the most important part, and I'm going to take you through some automation here. The membership questions are super, super, super key, especially if you're going to move into an autopilot growth approach. And this today possibly is some new information. We've covered this already during Evergreen, but I might take it a step further. So if any of this is new, you guys are here. Nobody's asking any questions, so I'm reviewing what I think matters, but please be dropping in the chat box or the Facebook Live if questions are arising. Otherwise, I assume you don't have questions because you're not asking, okay? So I have emphasized this a few hundred times. This will be the game changer, provided you're inviting people to the group, okay? Yes, we have to be filling the group, but if you can have a key discovery question, call it whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it a discovery question that tells you how to help this new member before she even comes in. You can automate a lot behind this, which is a bonus, but also you can much more quickly convert even if you're not automated, even if you're not using the software. So let's review real quick. I can invite people to a group in a lot of ways. I can use the invite button and I can just invite people, right? I can have a hostess who invites people into the group. I can have my personal profile over on Facebook be optimized so that when people come here over to my personal profile, this is basic social media stuff we've learned. If we want to, we can use our personal profile to advertise the main group so that we have multiple ways of filling this group, okay? If you're using your personal profile as a method to fill your group, what some people do is they use their personal cover photo here as a lead magnet to invite people into their group. And I've done this a lot of different times. Don't know if it's going to let me see different ones. I have done lots of different group photos where I use my cover photo area as a lead in to something that's going on in one of my groups, like the Mega Health Fair we did last month, okay? And then when people click on it, invites them to the group. You can also use your personal profile in your intro section to tell a little bit more about what you do, and in your bio section to link your group, okay? Here I have my YouTube link, my Instagram, and my business page, but you can link your personal group here. So just another way to grow your group. You can have a pinned post on your personal page where you could be linking to your group. So if your main funnel is all I got is my group, everywhere you need to have or you have access to put things, be linking your group. That would be a very, very basic funnel. Instagram bio, come join my group. LinkedIn profile, come join my group. Pinterest pins, come join my group. Everything that you're doing leads people to joining the group, okay? If that's your main funnel, then the key information with this will change the game. Imagine Leslie comes in from a YouTube video or from an invite from Erica, or Carla comes in because she found it on my personal profile, all the different ways people come in. If they will answer this question for me and I see that you need help with weight management, gut, whatever the case is, I can instantly say, hey, Carla, welcome to the group. I see that you need help with gut detox. That's exactly what we do here. Tell me, what have you tried before? Or what results are you looking for? Get her talking, then I can tell her I'm going to tag you in a couple things in the group and I'll follow up. Move them forward. And I can't emphasize this enough. If you're struggling with these questions, don't overthink this, just put something. Let's look at my jewelry ones because I think we've looked at these, but they don't always have to be so life-changing because sometimes it's like, I don't know, I just sell shiny objects. What kind of questions can I put in the shiny object section that can help people move forward? Okay. Well, in jewelry, it wasn't so much about like, how can I help you with your health, right? So I'm like, what are some questions I can get them to click the button? And that would help me immediately move the conversation toward closing. So in jewelry, I said, what interests you the most? Okay. They don't have to check this, by the way. If somebody doesn't want to check something, they don't have to, and you can decide to accept them or not. But people always pick something. Earning free bling, fundraiser opportunities, those of you that were impact, listening to the training from Erin Degner talking about the majority of her Pampered Chef parties. Sue, anybody who's struggling with parties, Erin's spin is that almost all of her parties are fundraisers. Okay, she'll go to places and ask if she can do a fundraiser for them. Okay, different method, still inviting new people, still doing parties, but she's doing it as a partial give back. That's why I put that in there. This company actually had true fundraiser built within it, or you can build your own. Earning 30 to 50% commission, earning free bling. Obviously, I'm gonna talk to them about the business or hosting, and then getting the best deals as a customer. Every single one of these questions, immediately I can be like, Rosalind, welcome to the group. I see that you're interested in getting the best deals as a customer. If she's new, I might say something like, have you ever shopped with company XYZ before? Or if it's jewelry, I might say, what's your jewelry style, gold or silver? Instant conversation, instantly moving forward, instantly getting enough information so that you can take these group members and be moving them forward fast. This is so key, and it will change the game on what you get to do inside of your groups. It will also allow you to automate. So let's stop here for a second before I go into automation and talk to me. Does anybody feel like you don't have good discovery questions that would allow you to immediately get into a conversation that could move forward into a sale, into an invite to the party, into sharing something that you have to offer with the business? Anybody missing some key questions for groups? All right. Anybody want to share what your questions are? And we can evaluate the questions.
I will. I got to get there though.
Okay. Is it Bo?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. She said Anna helped with questions and she loved the change, but don't know that they help. Okay.
So the very first question before I had, who can I thank for inviting you here? And we changed it to, please list your email that be entered into my monthly bonus giveaway, which I don't do a monthly bonus giveaway, but I need to for July and August. And then the second question was, what type of personality do you have? Check all that apply. Bold and spicy, calm and cheerful, girly glitter gal, party night out, and social and sporty. And then the third question is, who can I thank for inviting you to our community of Living Life and Joy, a host, a party, or an event? So yes, I have a business with Jordan Essentials, but I want to merge, sorry, I got headphones in and my headphones are beeping. I want to be able to have Jordan Essentials in there, but eventually down the road, I want it to be more of a group that is focused with Jordan Essentials, but also focused with women who grew up in an era of, I'm going to be 58 next week. So I grew up with a very negative mother who told me I would be nothing and nobody would love me and I'd never be anything. And so there are a lot of women in their 40s and older that grew up with parents from this era that were negative. And I want those women to know that they are worthy, they are loved, they are somebody. But I want it to collaborate together with anything else that I decide to venture out and not be so, I sell this.
Yeah.
So I know that my questions aren't geared in either one of those angles. And I'm still trying to figure things out.
What's the name of your group right now?
I don't want you there.
Hi.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
It is Live Life Steeped in Joy.
Okay. So what you're saying matters because steeped in joy.
Live Life Steeped in Joy.
So, and you can always change questions, by the way. So let's not worry too much if we've nailed it completely. But if you can identify like, okay, they answer the questions, but this isn't really helping me funnel them to the next best step, then we want to edit a couple of things. Okay.
Right.
So email is important if you're going to be building a list. And Bo, if you're not doing a monthly bonus giveaway and you don't want to feel like deceptive about that, you can just say, please list your email to be entered into our giveaways and special offers or something like that. So you're not committed to like, oh, did I do my monthly draw, right?
Okay.
What type of personality? We'll talk about that in just a second. Who can I thank you for inviting you here? This is important for you guys who do have a multi host event that might be happening. There's other people growing the group. It's not just you. And you want to find out where is the traffic coming from. If they keep saying you, Bo, like you invited me, and you're not finding traffic from elsewhere and you want to do something else with this question, you can. But I like this because over time, we did find people stumbling on the group, people finding it because we do have it linked multiple places. They might say, Facebook recommended your group to me. And I'm like, well, that's interesting, right? Or my friend invited me, or I saw it on your YouTube. So I like that if you're advertising it in multiple ways. This one right here, what is the goal for, if you know this information about me, what are you going to do with it?
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, so let's think of 3 to 5 steps that I could take with you, because you already said, well, it could be a Jordan Essentials step. It could be, I don't know, anything in the future that you sell. It could be some course you have. It could be, I just want a positive community. So what are 3 to 5 things I could do once I'm inside of this group? One is buy Jordan Essentials, right?
Right.
One is join your team. What else can I do? Host a party? Can I do that in this group?
Yeah, I used to have 2 groups, one where I host parties after I learned your Evergreen way and holding 2 parties a month.
Yeah.
And I would really rather it all be in one place.
Okay.
I may change my mind later, but it was a lot when I left the other company. It was a lot of scrambling to not lose those people as well and begging them to come into the new place. And finally, I was just like, just wipe the slate clean. I don't want to have to fight this battle.
Yeah.
So I'm working on, like, I know working with women is the biggest thing that I want to do. Like, I want those women to know, like, that's the biggest thing I want to do. But how do you ask a question like that? Like, that's got to be a little more private, I think, so that somebody doesn't necessarily feel, you might not be ready to open up to me to say, well, my parents said to me, I get whatever I want because I bat my big brown eyes.
Okay. But I want you to think about a couple things, because there's 2 questions happening here. We're going to form the question based on what we ultimately, how we can help them or what we sell. There's a piece of information or some qualifying information that they could give us, tell us something that would allow me to go, oh my gosh, because you said this, you should check this out. We don't have to go deep right now. We can stay super surface. Because you said you have melasma, you should check out our blank cream. I'm going to tag you in it. By the way, I'm giving some away Tuesday night at the party. Hang on just a second. Leslie, we're at 3:15, right? Okay, I thought I gave myself cushion. So what we're first trying to do is, it's going to be hard to form the questions if we don't know what they connect to. Okay, so let's pretend we just stay with Jordan Essentials, just because we can pick one thing. There's still 3 things they can do.
Right.
Buy products, book a party, join your team. And within each of those, there's a lot of things they could do, right? Let's take the business. They could do the business to earn trips. They could do the business to earn part-time income. They could do the business to earn full-time income. They could do the business to have an impact on people. Take the products. They could use the products because they have sore muscles. They could use the products because they have pets. I mean, I bought Jordan Essentials. They offer a lot. All these options, they don't know what to do. They literally have no concept of what to do. So you're saying, what do I really, really, really want them to do the most? Okay. And what information would I need to grab that would allow me very quickly to say, hey, Cathy, you said that you blah, blah, blah. Because of that, here's the information you need. Then you can follow up and say you're ready to go. So imagine you really want to impact women, but how? So you say, well, I know the type of person I want to help. She's had death spoke over her over and over and over. I want to help her break free from that. But is it just a community of these women to collab and grow? Is it a community of these type of women who, because of that, have chosen to build a business with a company called Jordan Essentials? Like, I don't care which direction it goes, because you can tie any back end offer to any front end that you want to. So you're trying to decide, and you can change it all the time, because imagine in social sales school, we do change it all the time, because we might be really wanting to fill Ignite Your Impact. And so I'm trying to find people coming into that group who might be at a leadership level or might have some mindset blocks. Whereas when I'm doing virtual parties, I might edit the questions to be like, I want help with virtual events. I've been doing parties and not getting any guests. So sometimes I change the questions based on what I'm funneling them to. If it's always the same funnel, I want to get healthy, I need help with gut detox. Ours are product questions. You probably noticed that with the Bravenly one. We didn't even talk about business, although that's an option. But that's also part of what is your flow. Are you preferring to take people through the product journey first, because that's their next best step? Then you know the business will come later, when you can get them to the product event. So this whole flow is what we're really trying to outline. So step one is the girl, remember we did this last week. Step one is all they've done so far is cross the threshold at Walmart, right? But your Walmart's much more awesome. All I've literally done so far is somehow you got me to make the first step. And I clicked the request button because somebody sent me the link, because I read a flyer, whatever. Somehow somebody got me to step into Walmart. Now what you're trying to get them to do is answer the question from the greeter. Hey, Bo, welcome to Walmart. How can I help you today? We have this on sale, we have this on sale, whatever. And you're like, oh, my granddaughter just had a baby. She lives a very healthy lifestyle. She does all this organic, like crunchy stuff. I don't know what that means, but I need to buy her diapers. Oh, great. This way. What is the key information that you need to like direct them? And you get to decide their next step. The guy who built Walmart, Sam Walton, I think, he got to decide what the Walmart experience is. So you say, what is my group experience? For Rosalind, it's probably come to the Tuesday night party. That's what she wants them to do. So every question would allow her to say, oh, I see this. Because of this, you need to join me Tuesday night, right? So you guys are just deciding how to connect from the little checkbox to, hey, Bo, I saw you, whatever, said, blah, blah, blah. Here's the what's in it for you. And then ask a question. Can you join me Tuesday? So you might need to spend some time brainstorming some questions that are really, and I call them qualifying questions, but you're trying to discover a couple things. So let's go basics real quick. Evergreen, this might be new for you, but impact it's not. I don't have my big paper. But the marketing continuum, that's a big word. The marketing continuum. Ray Higdon would say, where are they at in positioning? I would say the flow. But the marketing continuum, to use big words, big real words, is when a person is at, say, stage 0, they have no idea who you are. They have no idea what solutions you have, and they don't even know if they have a problem. That's a stage 0 person. Okay. They're not very likely to convert. They're not really who we're trying to draw to the group, but maybe through the membership questions, we can kind of weed them out, right? The next person, when we come in a little bit more, is they are problem aware. They know they have a problem, right? I know that I'm overweight. I know that I'm tired. I know that I am stuck in these limiting beliefs. I know that I don't have money right now. I know that I don't even know what my next best step is. I know I got a problem, but they don't know there's a solution. Okay. They're going to be a little bit more likely to convert because they can at least identify, I got a problem. And if you can tell me what your problem is, I can tell you if you're in the right place, okay? As we move through the marketing continuum, we've got problem aware people. Then we've got the next step, and that's solution aware. Not only do they know they have a problem, they know that there's actually a solution out there. They may not know that you have the solution, but they know that there's ways to lose weight. They know that there's ways to ease up their back pain. They know that there's ways to not be poor anymore. They just haven't figured out one that works for them. But they're a little bit more open in the positioning. Ray Higdon would say, okay, no problem, no solution. But you know, you got a problem, I can help you. You know, you got a problem and you know, there's a solution, you're even more likely to convert. Then inside of the group, we're like, by the way, I know you got a problem. You know that you got a problem. So I've discovered the need. I know where your problem is. I know what it is. Or I know what you're looking for, even if it's they're looking for a pleasure, right? I want you to know that there is a solution out there. And by the way, I have it. But probably you don't know me, you don't like me, you don't trust me. So why don't you blank? Go read these other people's testimonials. I'll tag you in. Come to my party on Tuesday. I'll show you more. Read this little guide about whatever. So what is the little thing that you need to know so that you can say, here's the thing that they need to know so that you on the other side, you can say, now, you knew you had a problem. I know you got a problem. You knew there's a solution. Now you know I got the solution. We all know each other. We all like each other. Are you ready to get married? So this whole flow, when we use group questions, are going to work really, really, really well if we invite the right people to the group who have the problem that we can solve, right? But the struggle is, well, what problem can I solve? And this goes back to Sue. Sue, she can solve a lot of problems that will create mass confusion in the group. Pick one problem, pick a solution, then grow with that audience, right? Or you might go, well, I wanted to solve the health problem I thought, but this is my story. I realize I do not like helping people with health that are like health gurus, that are ingredient like experts. No, that's not my people. I do not want to be ashamed when I'm in the drive-thru because somehow you thought I led a perfect life. I just want you to know that I found a simple way to not make all the mistakes and to poop again. I don't know. Like I found I was trying to like create something that I didn't really want to keep up with. So I can make, you know, Sarah said semi-crunchy moms was hers. So Bo, does that kind of make sense? And you don't have to like go with all the solutions, but I'm just trying to guide them. Yes. And in the Bravenly questions, all 4 of those questions lead to the exact same breakthrough program. They just don't know that.
Yes, that does help.
So you guys, we got 5 minutes and I'm going to show you something that is so freaking super cool. If you've narrowed in on who you help, if you've narrowed in on how you help them, and you've narrowed in on what questions are most likely to open up the conversation so that you can say, oh my gosh, because you said this, you should look at this, you should come to this, whatever the case may be. Based on the membership questions, your job is to get into a conversation, okay? We know that. We know that when we get a new group member come in, my job is to talk to the group member. Now, I'm going to talk to her generically from a standpoint of a Facebook group onboarding that every single member goes through. Okay? I showed this to you, I believe, on week 2. If you don't have this activated and you do have the software, we'll quickly review what this does, but you already have a copy of it. You're just going to want to personalize it, okay? But I showed you that each of my groups, I have gone down to the automation section and added an onboarding. See where it says social sales school group onboarding. What we consider when we say onboarding is this means every single person is going to go through this process based on the time that they came into the group. So if Bo comes in on Monday, this will happen on Monday. 1 day later will be Tuesday. 2 days later will be Wednesday. If Anna comes in on Tuesday, her day 1 is Tuesday, her day 2. So it's called a drip campaign. And within the social sales group onboarding, I'm not going to open it right now, but you can go into the software and you can look at your automations and you can see the backside of it. If you go into the software, go under automations, go under PCAT New CRM and open up the Facebook group onboarding. You'll see it inside of there, okay? What I built inside of the generic Facebook group onboarding is a welcome to the group, like a generic one. It has nothing to do with membership questions. Just, hey, Bo, I see you're here. This is what we do, blah, blah, blah. how can I help you in your business? Something scripted and generic. What I also do inside of the generic onboarding is I touch base with them 2 days later to say, hey, thanks for joining the group. You know, have you been getting the help you want? I touch base 2 weeks later just to give them a positive inspirational quote. I touch base 2 months later to see if they're still like happy in the group and interacting. It's generic and it's scripted. But the part that you guys can do today, if you want to, you don't have to, but it will change your business. You can come down here to conditional tags and you can add tag mapping. And this is going to connect to the top part with your membership questions. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top where it gives you the option to import the membership questions. Okay, import the membership questions. And this is the part where I'm talking right now. Which of these best describes? I'm struggling to know what to do with my business. I'm an active network marketer. I have a service. These are just like the questions you guys got to pick, right? Which discovery questions do you really, really need to know to help these people? And if you want to, you can choose to add a tag to these different membership questions. I think what I'll say for the sake of time is let me do this piece of it with you next week or do it tomorrow in a CRM group. Based on each question, you can assign a different tag to their answer. And then at the bottom, you can map out and make a response based on how they answered completely on automation. Okay, let's cover how. We can go through it more next week, but CRM users, if you want to move more into tag mapping, here's the complete vision. And I'm going to stop the share and end with this. If you tag map and if you use good membership questions, I'm going to say based on that membership question, go talk to the girl. But could we kind of script it out? Yeah, we could say, hey, Bo, I see that you are interested in losing weight. Tell me what's worked for you in the past. And I could automate that. And that girl's not going to know that's automated because it has her name and it has what she said. We can map each individual question where it could completely automate all the way to them, the point of them answering. And now we can get further into the conversation. Does that make sense? When we then have that process completely down, the hardest part is for you to find those people who need to lose weight, those people who are looking for money, those people who are single moms. And all you need to do, come join my group. Answer the questions. It could automate the flow all the way through. Does that make sense? All right, let's pick up there more next week here in Evergreen. Or if you want to cover the automation side, you don't want to wait. 2:15 every Wednesday inside of the CRM group with Dominique. And we can dive more into the automation of your membership questions and tag them. So spend this week really getting clarity on everything we went through with people. Who are you talking to? How are you solving a problem? What do they need to do inside of the group so that they can decide to move forward? Come to the party, watch a video, right? Download a lead magnet. What are you connecting them with inside of the group that makes it necessary for them to come in the group so that they can then go, okay, now I'm ready. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Great. Bye for now.